Greetings, my name is Livu Palatse, and this is my badge activity, basically summing up educational psychology. So, the three aspects that I learned during this creative process of designing this 3D brain is, for starters, how complex the brain actually is. And there's a reason why I chose the left and the right brain hemisphere, because this applies to me at best, at most actually. So I learned that the left brain governs the right body parts, the right body part movements. And the right brain governs the left body part movements, which is crazy. I mean, you'd think left on left, right on the right. No, it ain't like that. And then it goes to an extent where you realize that you got your left brain that is analytical, logic. It deals with mathematics, with science, because of the problem solving and the analytical techniques and all that. And the right brain hemisphere dealing with everything creative, artistic, spatial. I mean, from design to art, dramatic arts, dance, music. And it gets even crazier to know that with music, as much as it's of the right brain, it also relies on the left brain as well. So, in order for us to respond to music, it uses both hemispheres. You see how, as divided as they are in tasks, they work one another. Like they need each other to connect, to work. And another thing that I learned, which was so mind blowing, because I would think that the right brain deals with positive energy or positive feelings and emotions, which is totally the opposite. The right brain deals with negative emotions and the left brain deals with positive emotions, which would make sense as to how, as creative as we are, for example, when it comes to art, we rely on, for example, sad emotions to be painting dramatic paintings, for example. Just making an example. But it's crazy because when I get into my emotions and my feelings, it basically means that I tend to rely on my left brain hemisphere, since it's of positive emotions, to balance the emotions of my right brain hemisphere and therefore coming across as a neutral person when it comes to emotions, which is crazy, real crazy, and I love it. With regards to the brain, on the other hand, I got some pretty good questions. So, the first question is, I read up on, I think we can call it a theory, where the left brain hemisphere is more masculine and more masculine in energy, while the right brain hemisphere is more feminine in energy, hence the creative side and so forth. And some people would say the left brain hemisphere is the reason why we're living in this world today, because the left brain hemisphere, according to the interpretations and the depictions, is that it's more filled with boxes. So you have these little men walking around in the brain and they boxing memories, and it's just like, like you see these towns and these buildings and the cities that we have. So that's the left brain hemisphere. However, the right brain hemisphere deals with nature and bubbles and just everything beautiful and everything wonderful. So my question is this true? And if this is true, my next question is, how is it possible that our brain gets to decide which energies that we depict. Like, for example, you can be male but still possess female energies. So then you can come across as feminine to other people. Same thing if you're female and having masculine energy and coming across with masculinity. Like, that's my question. Does it also govern our actions or our behaviors in that way as well with regards to energies? Last and finally, and unfortunately, is something that I discovered about myself. One aspect that I discovered about myself, the brain, the training, and all that, those things. And I found that when it comes to me and reading books, as much as the left brain is like, come on, boy, let's get them knowledge into the brain. The right brain's like, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up. Wait for a moment. If it ain't creative, if it ain't interesting, then why are we even reading it? So, even so I realized that when it actually comes to reading, my right brain has to be bought. Like, you need to sell it in order for the right brain to give the go ahead to the left brain, like, okay, cool, it's gonna be time to read. But please just don't forget ourselves, okay? Maybe the reason why I actually like poetry, because it's kind of creative, sometimes short, not always, and sometimes you need to analyze the emotions and the feelings and all that, and it has a deep message and it speaks to you, and so that is something that the right brain loves. And so I usually read poems. However, I just got to finish a book titled Nervous Conditions. And of course, the right brain was like, ooh, title, Nervous Conditions. Ooh, this is interesting. And then it was further written in a female narrative. So then it's like, ooh, female narrative, honey, let's go, left brain. Here's the platter. So, yes, I know I'm being kind of perky or crazy and all of that, but yeah. Um, so that's one aspect that I found about myself, which was really cool. And so now it is like I can't just read something. If I need to read out of creativity, curiosity, it needs to be something that strikes the right brain. My goodness, strikes the right brain so that the left brain can actually start, you know, processing the information, get reading, start analyzing, and so forth. I mean, even in poetry, like, it's so fascinating how the moment I get to poetry, it's like, bingo, awesome. And then come to analyzing, it's like the left brain and the right brain are working hand in hand with one another, and they're like, yes, boy, we got this. I hope I'm answering this question because I feel like I am way too. But yes, that's one aspect that I learned. Cool.